How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at R.L. Stine's Ghost of Fear Street number 15. This one's entitled Fright Christmas. So yeah, this is the Ghost of Fear Street Christmas book. Nice red and green here, and if we flip it to the back, he'd better watch out. The back covers are always super bright and vibrant and colorful. It's cool to see it in the red and green for Christmas. This book originally came out in 1996. R.L. Stine created the Fear Street series, but the Ghost of Fear Street books, which were all aimed at younger kids, were all ghost-ridden. This one is written by Stephen Roos. I'd previously read one of his books, The Ooze, a past Ghost of Fear Street book. That was pretty fun, and this is pretty fun as well. If we look at the tagline on the front, "This Christmas Carol will scare the Dickens out of you." Yeah, this is a pretty fast and loose remake of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, although I don't know if I want to say loose so much as off the rails and crazy. You know, I've seen a lot of versions of the Christmas Carol, but I don't know if I've ever really seen one where the equivalent of Scrooge was a young kid and it focused on being 90s cool and radical and over the top. Yeah, this book goes pretty crazy, and you know, if you're going to go there, I'm glad that they really swung for the fences, because you know, this is one where the Ghost of Christmas Past drives a big motorcycle through the store, and the Ghost of Christmas Present is called Iceman and has ice powers. That's nuts. That's kind of cool. Now, that being said, it is focused on being cool and crazy, and it's not super deep, which is kind of sad. Each of the ghosts only get one flashback, and you can't really do terribly much character work with only one character scene. And if you look at the original Dickens, it was a guy who was really mean, and we do a whole character study about how he got there and can he change. In this one, you don't get that. You don't get those moments with Bob Cratchit and Tiny Tim just tugging at your heartstrings. No. There'll be a little bit of character work, but it's really just focused on being radical and crazy. So, you know, it is what it is. I do kind of wish that this was a thicker special edition book and we got more pages for stuff like this. But for what it is, if I was a young kid reading this back in 96, I would have thought it was awesome. Anyway, let's take a moment to analyze the plot and dive a little deeper. I'm not going to be doing any major spoilers, but I do want to analyze a few moments, so without further ado, let's dig deeper. We open up with Kenny. Kenny is our Scrooge equivalent. I don't know why they chose Kenny. It has nothing to do with Ebenezer Scrooge, but whatever, he's Kenny. And Kenny is kind of a bully, but he's not a big, mean bully. He's more of a prankster character, and the idea is he's very cynical, and he thinks a lot of stuff are stupid, and he'd rather pull pranks and tear things down than get in the Christmas spirit. His younger sister is quite different. She's very much in the Christmas spirit. She wants this little ballerina doll, and she's going to go tell the mall Santa all about it. And that's when Kenny thinks it would be funny to grab his beard and pull it off and parade it around and cause all the little kids to burst out crying. Well, he better get out of there, and he finds a closet marked "Danger, Keep Out," which to him is super inviting, and he wants to see what he can do in there. And it's a big computer inside. He starts flipping switches, hoping to cause chaos, and all he does is lock himself in the room. I did think it was kind of odd. I thought the computer would be setting something up, like this would all be like a Matrix scenario or something. But no, the computer just locks him in there. I'm kind of suspecting there may have been an alternate ending or something that got deleted, but whatever. By the time he's let out of the closet, the store is closed, and I do want to say, that's a really good set. The idea that you're in a department store After it closes, there's these red lights providing pretty much the only illumination. There are exit signs, but when you get to them, it's just a blank wall. And there's creepy mannequins, and you're like, did that one just move? Oh my gosh. It's a cool, surreal setting to be in this mall after it closes. Plus, Ebenezer Scrooge had his bed, and Kenny is going to have the display bed at the department store. I thought that was kind of funny. But anyway, who shows up after this? Santa Claus himself. So yeah, kind of funny, but canonically Santa is real in the Fear Street universe. Okay. And then Santa will say, "You've been very naughty this year. I'm going to have my 3 ghost friends come and change you, and the first one will come at 9 o'clock. So Santa is Marley in this version. That's super weird and feels like an odd translation, but you know what? Why not? Sounds fun, let's do it. And of course, he starts to feel sleepy, falls asleep in the department store bed, the clock strikes 9 o'clock, and we hear that motorcycle engine. That is super strange, because a lot of times the Ghost of Christmas Past is like kind and gentle and is going to show you all this tragic stuff. But here he pulls in on a motorcycle. He's got chains, and Kenny thinks his skin is blue at first before he realizes it's covered with tattoos, and the tattoos start to move. It's big and over the top, and is kind of a fun parody instead of flying over the streets of Christmassy London, where driving a motorcycle through a department store and knocking over fine china. That's kind of silly. Now we do get, he shows Kenny a VHS tape of a time he pulled a prank on the smallest kid in class, named Tim, Tiny Tim, right? And he's like, you shouldn't have done that. Now, we do leave the store for the other flashbacks. I was a little worried we'd be stuck in the department store the whole time, but for whatever reason, Ghost of Christmas Past just shows us this on a VHS tape. Okay, and we do also note that it was just one sequence of him being a bully and a prankster one time. I do wish we got to see maybe when he was younger and different and more full of the Christmas spirit, and a few things that led him to be this way. But again, the book's only about 100 some odd pages. You can't really do too much. I do wish this was a special edition and gave us more pages to analyze Kenny's character. It's just sort of, look, you are a bully. That's bad. And we only get one scene per ghost, so we gotta keep this book moving. Whatever. He will get visited by the other ghost, and I do want to say the Ghost of Christmas Present section, where he shows what Christmas will be like this year, is actually a super funny scene, and I did really like that. And, of course, it gets creepier with the third one. And overall, I want to say, it's a fun enough book, focusing more on being extreme and crazy and out there than a deep character study or anything. But again, if you are a kid, I could totally see really liking this one. So it's fun. It's not the best thing ever, but it is super fun. And it is one of the more original and different takes for A Christmas Carol. I don't think I've ever seen the story quite like this, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my Fear Street playlist. I've talked about a lot of the main Fear Street books. I even talked about the original Cheerleaders trilogy. And I've covered a few Ghost of Fear Street books in there as well. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.